Welcome everybody, it's Lauren's Crazy Pet Show and we are on location at a jewel of a spot. It's the Stamford Museum and Nature Center in Stamford, Connecticut, and this is Lisa. She is the Director of Education here and she is going to be with us all day long as my co-host, as is this little baby goat on your lap. Who is this, Lisa?
This is Moana. She is one of our dwarf Nigerian goat kids that was born here on the farm in April. So we're actually expecting another, hopefully, set of twins any day now.
Maybe one more on location today?
That could be. We're definitely in the due date. So.
We have so much to show you here, but first, Lisa, I want to show you something. I'm so proud. I know you're a dog lover too.
I am.
I am so proud of my baby Enoki. She just achieved something incredible. Let's take a look, okay?
All right.
I am so excited. My Enoki today is becoming a scout for Troop DSA 188.
Yep, Lauren, this is a great way for us to celebrate 188 Day. Today's the 188th day of the year, and we're adding a new member to our troop, Enoki. Congratulations.
Yay!
And welcome to the troop. Enoki, you're now a full-fledged scout in Troop 188.
This is the Dog Scouts, because we've
Dog
done
Scouts
stories.
of America.
Dog Scouts of America. We did a story about the Pub Scouts, which is a different organization. But now we're going to tell everybody about the wonderful Dog Scouts, because you've been around for longer than the Pub Scouts, for a long time.
Correct. Dog Scouts have been around since the mid-90s. They were started by a woman named Lonnie Olson. Out in Michigan.
And I love the fact that she started it because she wanted to make sure that all dogs were included.
And that's exactly it. Somebody told her her dog couldn't do what it wanted to do because it wasn't the right breed for that. And she said, well, then I'm going to start an organization, and so she did. And so the dogs can get to try all sorts of different things. We have almost 100 badges and titles that they can earn.
Wow.
As part of the Dog Scout program. Anything that the dogs want to try, they get to try.
And that's so much fun. So you get together and you do different activities, and today you have invited us to this wonderful picnic.
Correct.
Which is so much fun, and we went swimming. So you not only go swimming, but you teach about swimming.
We help and coach each other through making sure that we swim in a safe manner, that our dogs don't swim too much, that we are aware of things like water intoxication, where they can take in too much water while they're swimming and they could actually get sick. Our dogs wear life jackets when they're in the water. We teach them things like shore, so they know to head to shore when you say shore.
That's so important. So it's fun, but you're also learning. Of course, Enoki, she didn't feel like going in, but you said sometimes it takes time.
It does take. Some dogs take years before they get in the water. The whole thing is not to force them into the water.
And I know we went to see you at a wonderful Easter parade, and that was so much fun. That was at Old Mystic Village.
That's correct. Every year, that's our pet Easter bonnet contest and parade that we hold at Mystic Village as part of a fundraiser for local food pantries and charities.
And part of the parade, I know, was that you were giving back because you were helping fire stations, getting
emergency
masks.
Breathing kits, correct. One of the things that we do is any fire station or emergency station that would like a pet emergency breathing kit, one where the masks are specifically designed for pets, we will provide those to them free of charge, along with some training in first aid and CPR for pets. And hopefully when our pets need help, that there'll be somebody out there with the right tools.
And it's something that you do, with your dog, and that's one of the events. And you do have those badges, because Enoki didn't earn it yet, but one day she will. Explain the uniform, because she's not wearing it today, and the other official Dog Scouts aren't wearing it today. But
no, at a picnic we don't normally wear our uniforms. It's kind of hot out today, but it's just a red cape, and the cape then holds their badges. They can't wear the cape till they've earned their Dog Scout badge, which entitles them to put the title DSA at the end of their names.
Oh, okay.
So Enoki, once she earns that badge, will be Enoki DSA.
How does she earn that badge?
It signifies that the dog has an acceptable socially acceptable level of behavior.
He's a
but part of what she's doing now is that it's that she can behave herself in public, that you know how to manage her in situations.
Ooh, you got your work cut out for you, Sherry. And what about the other badges? Because many that we've met have earned many badges.
Yep. There's art badges, where the dogs paint pictures. 2 of our dogs today earned their puppy paddler badge.
Nice.
Down while we were swimming. Band badge, first aid and CPR, frisbee, fly ball, and agility. One of the things that's great about the Dog Scouts is you're going out with a lot of like-minded people, and we go to different places, so our dogs become more socialized. The more things they see, the more things they do, the more things they can see and they can do, and the more time they can spend with us and we can spend with them. One of the activities we do at most of our meetings is we teach the dogs how to greet each other and become comfortable with each other on leash. And so one of the first things we teach new Dog Scout members like yourself is how to walk, where we do little circles, and then you get the dogs closer and closer together until they're all of a sudden walking side by side, so we can walk in a tighter knit group when we go to different places.
Now you have 2 troops in Connecticut, but there are troops everywhere.
There's troops throughout the United States, and I believe there's also a troop in Puerto Rico.
And the troops in Connecticut are?
Troop 188 and Troop 219.
She's 188.
To find your nearest troop, go to dogscouts.org, check the membership link. There's also a Find a Troop link, and you can hook up with a troop, or you can join online and work on your own if there's not a troop in your area, and possibly start your own troop.
That was good. You liked it, right?
That was great. Congrats, Enoki.
Yay, my baby. I wonder if they accept goats.
You never know. They would be great for that.
And I know you're such a big dog lover.
I am.
People might not know this, but on our other show that we used to do called Pet Talk, Lisa actually came onto the show and she adopted a beautiful Sadie.
I did, yeah.
She was a beauty.
My first visit ever. I ended up going home with an extra animal, and she was with us for 14 years.
Be still my heart.
So,
she was such a
She was a great dog.
And you like cats too, though?
I do. I currently have a cat at home who is also a rescue. Urchin.
Urchin. Okay, so tell Urchin, because when we come back, you're not going anywhere. Neither are you, are you? Maybe you'll be with us. We have a wonderful story about a wonderful cat organization. You'll love it.
Excellent.
You got to see, they're so cute. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back. Once again, we want to say thank you to our newest sponsor, Cohen Brothers Jewelry. We actually went to visit them, and wow, their jewelry is gorgeous. Handcrafted with the finest jewels and diamonds, precious stones, gold, platinum, whatever your heart desires. And they can even make pieces to order. Just describe what you want. Cohen Brothers is located right in the Diamond District at 45 West 47th Street, New York, New York. And remember, they love animals too. Welcome back to Lauren's Crazy Pet Show. We are on location all show long at the Stamford Museum and Nature Center, and look who Lisa found. Lisa is the education director here. She's fabulous. She found a little kitty. This is Blaze. This is the kitty that roams free.
Yeah, he's one of our barn cats, so helps us to keep our rodent control in check, and he has been here longer than me, and he's also a rescue from back in the day. So.
And we have a wonderful story about a wonderful rescue. But first, what? Behind us?
Oh, our 2 gentlemen back there. So that's our working oxen pair, Moose and Monty. They are Randall cattle. One of the things that we do here on the farm is heritage breeds, which are sort of endangered species for farm animals.
They look like big cows.
So one of the rules on the farm is that you can't be a boy and be a cow. So I always tell the kids you can have a cowboy, but not a boy cow. So these guys are oxen, which is basically male cattle that are designed to help work.
Okay, Blaze, take a look now. This is for you. Lisa, I met a wonderful cat group. Let's take a look. You know, we're so excited to be able to introduce you to some of the wonderful rescue groups. And today we're highlighting one of my favorite. It's the Stratford Cat Project, and you're located in Connecticut. This is Tony. He's with the project, and we're here at a wonderful adoption event at H3 Pet Supply in Stratford today. And we just wanted to bring you some of the highlights and let you learn something about this wonderful rescue, because today's been so busy.
Yes, it has.
Yeah.
Got a lot of kittens out here, and some older cats been adopted.
And who is this on your lap? Look at this baby.
This is Veronica, probably about 12 weeks old.
Look at the coloring on her. She is so beautiful.
Very beautiful. We don't get too many of the cream colored ones.
The cream
like
color, right? And you have a wide variety.
You know, this time of the year we have a lot of the kittens. The kittens we want to go out in pairs or into a home with another young cat. But we do have some older cats that could go out by themselves, you know, the king or queen of their castle.
Some prefer that, right? But some want to go together. And what I love is even your fosters are here, because they're so proud, many of them who have fostered, and then they're bringing their little kitties or the cats in to find homes, and they just feel so good about it.
Yeah, and they enjoy staying here, and this way they can answer questions, and sometimes just them being here makes an adoption happen.
And you've been so successful, and that's why we're so happy to be able to let people know all about you.
Karen started the project over 18 years ago, and since then we've adopted out over 6,000 cats.
Wow! And here is, we're at the H3 Pet Supply in Stratford that have really created a little room for you.
They built this room for us. As you can see in the back, it says Baldwin's Corner. The first cat rescued was Karen's cat.
Oh, I love it. cats.
And we named the room in honor of Baldwin.
Isn't that great?
And the owners of the store, Mike, Karen, and James, they've been wonderful.
That's what it's all about. And I know there's a little kitty there with a special message.
That is Winkin. He's our mascot. He's Karen's cat. Oh. And he's about 11 years old, and he has neurological issues. They didn't think he was going to live very long, and here he is, 11 years old, and he is amazing.
Well, I just love it. I mean, bravo to everything that you do. And we want everyone to know where they can find you.
We have our adoptions usually the first and third Saturdays of the month from 11 to 3 o'clock here at H3 at 475 Hawley Lane in Stratford. We're on Facebook, so if you look up Stratford Cat Project on Facebook, in the days leading up to an adoption, we post pictures of who's going to be out.
Fantastic. Thank you for all you do, Tony.
And thank you, Lauren, for helping promote us.
Well, you're a wonderful group, and it's just really nice to spread the word, and hopefully you'll come down and adopt or get in touch with the Stratford Cat Project. Look at this baby, so precious. And Lisa, they had 13 adoptions. How wonderful is that?
That is awesome.
Kitties and cats, so we're so proud of them. So thank you for inviting us there. And Blaze, coming up next, I don't know if you're going to be crazy about this, but Lisa, we're going to introduce you and everybody else to a very famous Connecticut resident with 4 paws.
Ooh.
Yes.
That's exciting.
We'll be right back.
All right. Thanks, Blaze.
Welcome back, everybody. Lauren's Crazy Pet Show, still on location at the marvelous Stamford Museum and Nature Center. Lisa has been my co-host, so happy that you're still here with me. And we came inside, actually, because you had this marvelous exhibit and this wonderful museum right on the grounds.
Yep, so this is our museum building, former home of Henry Bendel, fashion magnate, and this houses our rotating exhibitions as well as some permanent collections that are on display that do change throughout the year. And currently we're featuring an awesome exhibition by a Japanese artist named Sayaka Gans, who takes ordinary one-use plastics, which is certainly timely, and transforms them into amazing animal sculptures such as birds of paradise, horses, cheetahs, and such. So not just do we have nature and outside animals, but also sometimes animals inside too.
And Lisa, speaking of statues, we have a story now, unbelievable, on a true American hero. Just unveiled the statue. You're going to love it at the Museum of the Dog. So let's take a look. We are delighted to be right back here at the marvelous Museum of the Dog for the unveiling of a very special statue to a true canine hero. It's Stubby, known as America's first war dog. So Susan, you created the Stubby statue, and it is marvelous. We just saw the unveiling, and a lot of people don't even know who he is.
Oh, this is an amazing dog. This was a stray dog, like a bull or Boston Terrier mix, that wandered on the campus of Yale when the soldiers were, practicing, getting ready, doing drills to go to France in World War I. And he hung around, and he finally befriended this one Robert Conroy, one of the soldiers, and he taught him a lot of tricks. And so when it was finally time to, get on the ship and go to France, he wanted to take Stubby with him. So we had a friend smuggle him in his overcoat, in a blanket, and get him on the ship. And then when he was discovered later, the commanding officer was like, "What is this dog doing on the ship?" And then Conroy kind of gave him the signal, and Stubby got up on his haunches and he gave his salute.
So that's why
that's why it's called Stubby Salute, because that kept him for 18 months on 17 battlefields.
Wow.
Alongside Robert Conroy, his inseparable companion. He would smell the smell of mustard gas attacks, and bark, and he would allow the soldiers to put their gas masks on. There was time, then he would alert to the sound of the incoming artillery shells. Then the most touching thing, when a soldier was wounded, and by the way, he knew the difference between American and non-American. So when he saw a wounded soldier in the middle in no man's land between the German side and our side, he would just go over there and sit by the wounded soldier until help came. And he just lifted the morale. So when he came home, and he was also injured, but he recovered from his injuries from the gas, when he returned home, he met 3 presidents. He had a hero's welcome. You know, he got a medal from General Pershing. He was just a beloved part of our country's history.
So, Kurt, your grandfather actually was the partner of Stubby.
Yes, my grandfather would regale me with stories over and over again. Many times the same stories, but he loved Stubby more than anything else in the world. He made it clear to me he never would have made it back from World War I had it not been for Stubby.
When you saw this unveiled, your heart must have just gone huge.
All I could think of was my grandfather had to be smiling.
What's one of the favorite stories your grandfather told you about Stubby?
When Stubby realized that in this no man's land area between the trenches, somebody was out there. Stubby went out to see who it was, and Stubby could tell a German from an Allied. It was a German spy. And he bit the guy in the derriere and made such a noise, and he wouldn't let go. And some of the guys from the 102nd came out and got Stubby off the guy's derriere, but they took him into control.
So, Susan, Stubby is one of the most decorated dogs.
Those are his earned medals. I mean, for being in battle, his battle stripes. And what happened, he's wearing that vest because he's helped save the town of Chateau Thierry in France. And the women of that town wanted to show their appreciation of Stubby. So they went and they took a chamois vest and they made it for him, and they embroidered on the back all the flags, the Allied countries' flags, and his name and the 102nd Infantry Division.
It's so amazing. You've captured it so brilliantly, and this is not your only statue because we saw Stubby in Connecticut.
Yes, thank you for mentioning that. The original first one was unveiled last year, Memorial Day weekend, at the amazing Trees of Honor Memorial, Veteran Memorial Park. Middletown, Connecticut. Thank you. I mean, that was very touching because there were parents of fallen soldiers there. It was at a Veterans Park, and it was very poignant. And he being from Connecticut, Stubby should be there.
You have another work here at the Museum of the
Yes, I have
Dog.
2 other pieces. One is our country's first official war dog memorial, Always Faithful, the Doberman, that was unveiled in 1994 at the Pentagon, and then it's at the U.S. Naval Base on Guam, to the World War II dogs and their handlers. And then in World War II, another piece here is Smokey, the little Yorkie of World War II, who was a mascot, a 4-pound Yorkshire Terrier. But she also was like a therapy dog. She did unofficial war dog maneuvers as well. She lifted the morale.
One of the great stories which my grandfather's scrapbook reminds me of is there is an engraved invitation from one of the presidents to Stubby to join the president and his family in the White House. And written on the side of the invitation, in hand, was a note from the president's wife saying that Stubby was welcome to bring his companion with him.
How cute is Stubby?
That is great.
It's so adorable. I love that story. It's so wonderful. Okay, so when we come back, Lise, we are going to get a view and a tour of the farm and see some of your wonderful animals too. Many of them must be heroes as well, just like Sergeant Stubby.
Absolutely.
Maybe not as decorated, but
No, but we definitely love them just as much.
that's right. We'll be right back. Don't touch that dial. Welcome back to Lauren's Crazy Pet Show. We have a new guest here. We've had Lisa here for the whole show. Thank you so much, Lisa. And we have Henrietta, who is a beautiful chicken, right?
Yes.
Looks like a rooster with that little
know,
headpiece there.
No, she is all girl.
Oh, she's so cute. We're at the Stamford Museum and Nature Center for the entire show. We're on location. This is such a jewel of a place, Lisa. This has been here, what, 80 years?
We've been an organization for 80 years. We've been here since the mid-50s.
Wow.
So we have 118 acres, and we do environmental, agriculture, art, and astronomy education. So we've got a wide variety of programs that people can come for drop-ins, summer camps. We have a farm market on Sundays. We're open 362 days a year and give people an opportunity to do everything from learn how to cook to come and hug a goat to walk on our trails. So we've got a lot of great stuff. Obviously, people can visit our website at stanfordmuseum.org for more program information.
And it's amazing because this is a working farm, and a lot of people don't know what that means. chickens.
Yes, so we are small. We're only about 10 acres. Obviously, people think of us for education for farm, which we certainly do. But we do produce wool. We produce honey, maple syrup, which is probably our biggest crop, some vegetables, as well as a lot of times our animal babies will go to other farms to help start different flocks.
And it's important because this is a place where people can learn about farms because they are diminishing in certain areas.
Yeah, certainly small farms are harder and harder to come by. You know, it's great to know where your food is coming from and to know your farmer and to learn about, you know, the animals or plants or whatever you may be eating, you know, to have that great relationship is...
Don't tell Henrietta that. She won't like it.
Nope, she doesn't have to worry about that. But it's just a, you know, a great opportunity for people to know where their food is coming from and to be able to, you know, spend their dollar locally for agriculture is amazing.
And I think it's also nice to really get back to nature because, again, you have trails here, you have the animals here, and there are a wide variety. So behind us, we have some more goats.
Yep, so we have actually our sheep
The sheep are behind us.
So, yep, so our Jacob sheep. We also have a building of some exotic animals. So we've got horses, cows, pigs, chickens, obviously, rabbits. And so there's really something to do for everybody. We have, you know, rotating exhibits in our art galleries. We have an amazing playground. We have awesome trails. So you can really come with the whole family and spend a day and everybody will find something to do.
And it's surprising, a lot of the animals, I mean, we saw the pigs and those are always a favorite and they're so cute. And many of them have their own story, like we just saw the steers and they look like cows, you know, but they're not. So I learned that today. When people come, they must be surprised. We saw the llamas over there.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. People definitely have their favorites. You know, we have both animal groups that people really like, but also like our Clydesdale Dakota has a big following. We hold an election on the farm every November. People come and vote for their favorite animal. So he's our current president at the moment.
I can see why.
So I think, you know, everybody comes. Some people love chickens, some people love the goats, some people love the horses, and you can see everybody here.
You can see it all, and they're just, and it's wonderful to see them, you know, in their sort of pens that are so huge and they're doing, you know, like what they would do as animals on a farm do. And a new, beautiful farm building.
Yep, so we just built a new farmhouse education center that's open for rentals as well as programs and a new maple sugar house.
Oh, I'll have to have some of that. Fantastic. It's just really a wonderful, you know, I said it before, it's really a jewel of a spot, and we are so happy you invited us here today,
We are
Lisa.
happy to host you anytime.
I love it the way that you take care of your animals as well, because I know you are a huge animal lover.
Absolutely.
So they're all happy, I think, to be here, right?
Yes.
Maybe not Henrietta, but she's having fun too. So we want everybody to stick around because before we go, you mentioned earlier that some little goats might be having babies. Not today, probably,
Yeah,
but let's go see the mommies.
All right,
Should
awesome. We can do that.
Okay, we'll be right back. Okay, Henrietta? We're back, everybody. It's Lauren's Crazy Pet Show. We're among the goats at the Stamford Museum and Nature Center. I'm with Lisa, and this is the pregnant goat we told you about earlier in the show. This is Delilah. It looks like she's due any day now.
Yes, so we're expecting hopefully twins any day now, and we're excited. We usually have some kids born on the farm in April, and then some again, usually August. It's a little early this year.
Oh, wow.
But we'll be excited to see those guys.
She's got a beard.
Yeah, so it's actually a goatee. Sometimes the girls have those as well.
Oh, this is so cute.
So,
where's her dad, the daddy?
The bucks are up
the
there.
daddy?
So
over there.
the moms do most of the work when it comes to the race. So,
we met Moana
a lot
before,
of
and this is
Maui, her twin brother.
Oh, how cute. These are so cute, Lisa.
One of the reasons we love goats is they're kind of fun and a troublemaker, and they really want to eat all of our equipment.
Oh, they're
today.
chewing on everything. She's chewing on my pants. Lisa, thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
hosting us today. This is such a wonderful spot. Once again, it's the Stamford Museum and Nature Center.
So StamfordMuseum.org is the best place to find us, and we hope everybody will come out and not have their equipment eaten by the goats.
They're eating our equipment. And of course, we hope you will join us, Lauren's Crazy Pet Show. We are on WRNN Network. We're also on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, so please join us there, and we thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank
this
you
has
guys
been
so
much
much
fun.
for coming
out. This has been Lauren's Crazy Pet Show.
Hi, I'm Dr. Melissa Shapiro, veterinarian of the Visiting Vet Service. This is Evie. She is a 6-year-old rescued poodle mix from a kill shelter in California. We're here to talk to you about keeping your dogs and cats safe during this very, very hot weather. The first and most important, I think, complication of summer heat is that dogs do not sweat like people do, so they have a much more difficult time controlling their body temperature, and many are at risk of hyperthermia, which is increased temperature. Dogs in cars are at a special risk, even if you're in the car with them. When we're traveling with our dogs, we have to take special precautions and compromise our eating out, which we need to stop for lunch. Someone's got to stay in the car with the dogs, with the air conditioning on. Parking in the shade is usually not good enough in 100-degree weather. Sometimes dogs get left in the car after going to the park and can be forgotten. I usually do a head count. I watch as they walk in, and I make a mental note that everyone is now safely into the house, because if a dog gets left in the car, especially in the summertime, that dog is going to overheat very, very quickly. There are a number of breeds and dogs that are at high risk. Brachycephalic dogs, the pushed-in nose dogs like pugs, French bulldogs, bulldogs, Boston terriers, those breeds that have very pushed-in face are already compromised in normal temperatures, and when they heat up, it doesn't take long for them to collapse and potentially become hyperthermic and die. Laryngeal paralysis dogs, there are golden retrievers, labs, some of the bigger breeds have a higher incidence, especially as they get older, of paralysis of their larynx. So as the temperatures go up, they have more and more trouble breathing, and those dogs also will succumb sooner than a healthy dog. Senior dogs, dogs that are sick, those dogs also need to have special care when it's hot. So the best way to keep dogs safe in the summer is to keep them inside in air conditioning. If they're outside exercising, that needs to be monitored. They can't run till they drop. They have to be cut off before they get to that point. There are kiddie pools, cooling blankets, and other products that are helpful to keep dogs cool in the summer if they're outdoors. Taking dogs for walks is another danger spot. Walking on pavement in the midday sun is very dangerous because pavement heats up, little foot pads will burn. So while these foot pads are very, very protective and made to endure all sorts of rocks and surfaces, they aren't equipped to withstand high temperature pavement, and they will burn. They will actually rub them raw to bleeding tissue, and that is very painful and very dangerous for the dog. So I usually recommend walking early in the day or late, and to check the pavement with your hand. If it's hot to you, it's going to be hot to the dog's feet. Dogs will get sunburn, although a dog like this who's very hairy is not at a high risk. Other dogs that are shorter hair, they have less hair on their face. Hairless breeds should not be out in the sun, obviously. There are sunscreens for dogs, but they're few and far between to find that are approved for dogs. And usually you're just spot checking the nose and the ears, so you're not going to catch the whole rest of the dog. Signs of heat stroke and hyperthermia are panting excessively, collapse, seizures, and sometimes dogs will succumb and die. Hopefully your dog never gets to that point, but if you notice that they're really, really having trouble in the heat, bring them in, contact your emergency vet to get them in to be cooled off. Sometimes if they have exposure to excessive heat, their kidneys will fail and they will have all sorts of other medical problems that need to be treated in an emergency clinic.